Many have been working powerfully and effectively behind the scenes. July 28, 2013. The oneness of God and all of His creation is a concept that is beyond beauty, beyond perfection. It is an infinite harmony of integrated energy fields that is overwhelming in its magnificence. When you, humanity, return home, and awaken into reality as you are divinely destined to do, your delighted amazement as you remember and recognize who you truly are will absolutely enchant you. Now, as you wait for this event of incomparable significance in your ongoing spiritual evolution, do not let doubts or anxieties distract you from your task of holding the light within you on high so that all with whom you interconnect in any manner will feel the warmth of love that envelops you and flows out through you to embrace all on earth. This is the point in your history when love prevails, and all that is not in alignment with it just fades away. You have brought this about by your unceasing intent to awaken from the deep sleep in which the illusion seems to have ensnared you. You were not ensnared, and never could be because you are one with your Father. Your will is aligned with His, and as it is His will that you awaken into the eternal joy that is reality, therefore you will do so. It is inevitable because His will is always perfectly achieved. Nevertheless, many of you are concerned as the immensity of the scale of dishonesty, betrayal, and corruption that has been endemic on earth for eons becomes ever more apparent. What is being revealed by whistleblowers all across the planet is very shocking, because you had been led to believe and because you most naturally wanted to believe that whatever its flaws, and you were aware of many, the apparent democratic governments of the industrialized nations were intentionally and successfully working in humanity's best interests. Laws introduced by governments claiming to protect you and ensure your ongoing safety were loudly trumpeted as wonderful signs of the effectiveness of your so-called democratic societies, when in fact they mostly possessed, hidden deeply within them, clauses and amendments which allowed large organizations and corporations, while declaring their compliance with them, to avoid being in any way constrained by meaningful controls or restrictions on their, to put it mildly, less than worthy or honorable activities. The extent of the damage that has been caused and continues to be caused worldwide by the arrogant and insane policies of some of these organizations is finally being revealed. And because it can no longer be hidden, effective measures to reverse and repair the planetary damage can start being put into operation. Indeed, the number of whistleblowers is growing as the divine field of love enveloping you all weaves its miraculous web, intertwining all your individual energy fields ever more positively into itself. Many have been working powerfully and effectively behind the scenes for some considerable time, so that when the time was right, the means, the plans, and the activities necessary to bring about essential repairs, renewal, and regeneration of the planet could be started without delay. News of these kinds of activities is starting to be reported, so when you feel down and feel that nothing seems to be happening apart from further damaging calamities, look for the good news and remind yourselves that the new age has arrived and has brought with it the necessary people, skills, intent, and determination to put right the wrongs that have occurred through eons of irresponsible behavior by those who had taken upon themselves the power and authority to govern the planet and its peoples. The time for discounting the will of the governed by those who would govern them has come to an end. Education, mass travel, and the ability to communicate quickly and easily with anyone anywhere have made it impossible for those who consider themselves special, superior to the general population and therefore destined to rule, to continue doing so, no matter how desperately they may wish it were not so. The paucity of goodwill on their part can no longer be hidden or denied. In the long run, authority and control can only be maintained if those claiming it are accepted by those whom they would govern, and that is no longer the case. The peaceful ousting of governments that no longer serve the needs of the populace is set to continue as it becomes ever more apparent that they have no answers to the problems besetting the world, and that their only true interests lie in protecting themselves and their deliciously self-indulgent lifestyles. There are many on the planet who do have the interests of the planet and of humanity at heart, and who are well aware that the present rapacious, perpetually growth-oriented industrial economies will lead to self-destruction if allowed to continue on their approach to the abyss. And the population at large is not unaware of this. There is a new mood on earth, a new awareness, a realization that enormous changes to the way societies interact with each other and with the planet are essential if you are not to be drawn into that looming chasm. The determined collective intent to reverse course, to back up and reassess your priorities, and to bring into being the required changes for the peace and well-being of all on earth will not be overruled or prevented. Already the first steps have been taken to lay firm foundations for a sustainable mode of living, while at the same time ensuring that you do not fall backwards into a pre-industrial age of hardship, poverty, and disease. Because all is going forwards exactly as God intends, and as humanity also desires, when you take your regular daily quiet times, holding the intent that the divine will be done, and that love, the infinite power of life, of creation dissolve all earthly dissonance, remind yourselves that humanity's collective intent to awaken has been made and is irreversible. In other words, remind yourselves that you are divine beings about to awaken from a long and nauseating dream into the glory of your eternal and natural state, fully conscious, fully aware, and joyous in the presence of and at one with God, your ever-loving Father. With so very much love, Saul. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman.wordpress.com